Good morning, everybody. My name is Standing Bear Thunderheart, but of course you all know me as Bear. And this is a beautiful early Monday morning, October 17th. Actually, is October 18th. Yes, October 18th, 2011. And let's just say that I was trying to see if I was trying to figure a certain topic today to talk about, but there are various other topics that I like to talk about as well. So it's not going to just be one particular topic, but let's put it this way. It's going to be, first I'm going to start off with the continuation of in regards to steroids and MMA and how everything has been going on. So let's just put it this way. Of course, there has always been fighters been on steroids for quite some time. We all know that. Now, it just appears to be that there's fighters that are getting on steroids, but now they're naming it something different now. They're naming it, of course, testosterone replacement therapy, right? The testosterone replacement therapy. Now, what in the world is that supposed to mean? I guess they were saying something about bringing testosterones back into balance and some BS like that. I'm like, oh my goodness, look. You know, the way I look at it, it's still steroids. I mean, the thing about it is now the name putting all these fancy names, and I'll get to that more in a bit. But there was this one idiot. Basically, there was one commentator that was a nice looking sister that I made a comment on about the fact that Chael Sonnen, which recently defeated Brian Stann, so and I'm congratulating him on that on my post-fight recap 136. He basically called Anderson Silva out and said he sucked and various things like that. And of course, they really don't like each other at all, and that's one of the key things sometimes. But Chael Sonnen is not necessarily the most likable guy either. I mean, he thinks that, yeah, he speaks his mind and everything like that, but he also was juiced up on steroids when he fought Anderson Silva last time on UFC 117, actually, yes, 117. He fought Anderson Silva, and even though Anderson Silva also had broken ribs, Anderson Silva still won, but some of Chael Sonnen's fans were offended when I said the fact that Chael Sonnen was on steroids when he was dominating the fight against Anderson Silva. Now, I first of all gave Chael Sonnen the benefit of the doubt. I actually really gave him credit before I even knew about the steroid situation afterwards, that he was caught with steroids in his system. I actually gave him credit for actually beating up Anderson Silva for a long time. But then, as soon as I found out that he was juiced up on steroids, and he even said that he was performing enhancement drugs, which is steroids. Now it's like, oh my goodness, I guess I might have given this guy credit prematurely, to say the least. And I felt stupid, but at the same time, it was like, you know what, hey, you try to give the person the benefit of the doubt, and then this person, even though you don't even like him, you try to at least give him some credit to respect the person's abilities, yet you lose even that faith in that person, and even that ability to even do the things that you thought he was able to do against Anderson Silva. And yet Anderson Silva still was able to got him in a triangle arm triangle actually from the bottom position, and he was still able to get Chael Sonnen to tap out. So despite the drugs enhancement in the system and the fact that Anderson Silva went in with broken ribs, Anderson Silva still came out on top. So, and yet you got one of the Chael Sonnen fans came up, actually wrote to me, and basically says that that basically Anderson Silva's gay fanboys, as he likes to say it, made up an excuse for Anderson Silva being beat up. What excuse is that? Just because the fact that I called out the fact that he was on steroids, and then the fact that he had to use steroids in order to get in that position, a dominant position. I bet you, if anything, the next fight that happens without the juice up Chael Sonnen and a healthy 100% healthy Anderson Silva, we'll see how the fight really determines. And I truly feel that Chael Sonnen may end up getting beat if Anderson Silva can still keep his focus on and so forth. And we'll see what Chael Sonnen will really be made of once he really fights the real Anderson Silva, while Chael Sonnen is no longer juiced up. If he was really as confident as he was, he would not have juiced himself up like he did. I'm sorry. And this whole testosterone treatment crap that I'm hearing about as of late, I don't buy that either. That's not that's just a total new name for the same shit, for the same thing. And so this idiot decided that he's going to call, me names and Anderson Silva names. This is like Anderson Silva's fans' names, actually, because he's a hater of Anderson Silva, obviously. He doesn't appreciate the skills, and obviously he's a shell-shown fan, which I don't have a problem with, but my problem is don't be insulting other fighters' fans just because, especially me, because the fact that I pointed out the truth. I pointed out the truth, simple as that. And so, in that respect, people just gotta just know that there's facts that are there. But the point is, he still won. So you need to deal with that. And that's maybe what your problem is. But I think a lot of it is too is that you have to say gay fanboys of Anderson Silva. I think it just shows some insecurities on the part of these people that like to do the attacking. All you guys think that you know what you know, but you really don't know. Especially those that are young and coming and they're younger generations and things like that. You guys think that you know it all and everything, but and I'm sure you guys may be wise in some cases, but not in this one. Especially not in the way, not out of the ignorance that you guys come at certain people in a certain way. And so, in that retrospect, like I said, I had to write back to this guy and basically told him, look, you know what? It's still steroids, regardless. Anderson Silva still won the fight. He's still the champ. And I mean, man, perhaps maybe certain people gravitate towards Chael Sonnen because perhaps some of them may be chumps like Chael Sonnen is, because he's proven that he's a chump in actuality, the fact that he cannot win the big one. He is good enough to win fights and everything, don't get me wrong, he's got the skills to win fights, but in order to be a champion, I don't think he's got what it takes to actually get there. And the same thing is, I don't think a lot of these people who are Chael Sonnen fans, I'm not saying all of them, but I'm just saying some of them probably can't make it big in real life either, can't make it big outside themselves. So they have to point fingers and attack people like me or Anderson Silva, or people who are actually winners, who are actually champs in life, and who are champs in many ways. Because they're not champs, they're inadequate, they are mediocre. You see, there are times when people, they want to defend their own fighters, right? But really, you have to ask yourself, are they really protecting their fighters that they like, or are they really protecting themselves and just putting the projection on the fighters that they're protecting? See, and I came to the conclusion that most of these idiots, most of these ignorant assholes out there are protecting themselves because, they're inadequate, so they want to point someone with a face, because many of them don't have a face. Many of them don't have their own shows. Many of them don't have their own stuff. They just go on YouTube and with no face, with nothing to show for, and yet they don't want to start talking shit to people and talking and being disrespectful to others who are actually out doing something, who actually are out taking care of business and actually putting themselves out there with some courage. I mean, it's not easy doing the things that I do as far as the commentaries are concerned or the interviews that I did with people. It's not as easy as it looks, but at the same time, once you get going, it can be pretty easy. But it's not easy as it is. And also, in not to get off track, but just like as far as fans are protecting the fighters, well, so are the organizations. They're protecting the fighters too, because many of the fighters that are still on steroids have not been caught because many of them have been protected. You see, it's all about who you like and who you don't like, or who you connect to, who you're not connected to. That's what it boils down to. It boils down to really who you know. And the thing about it is, as far as that goes, and Ken Shamrock made a good point. It's all about who also not only who you connected with and who you know and who you're cool with, but it's also which name makes the big money. And that's the thing. And I truly feel that, me personally, Chael Sonnen should have went all the way to the bottom and work his way up. Now, some people may think, well, they already got suspended for a year and things like that, and why make him work any harder? But the truth of the matter is that I truly feel there needs to be stiffer punishment for people who put themselves on steroids, who do these kind of things, and think that they can get away with it. Because even though, Chael Sonnen may be back, and I'm glad he's back, but now he's going to be, at least near fighting for the title more so than ever before. I mean, I remember when people like Stephen Bonner and other people got caught in steroids, they didn't get near title shots right away. They had to work themselves back up. I mean, they lost endorsements and various other things like that. I mean, there was stiffer punishment about Stephen Bonner, but they're not stiffer punishments on Chael Sonnen. I mean, that's kind of injustice I'm talking about here. And I mean, and I pointed it out, and I know a lot of people are not going to like the things that I've said, and that's probably one of the reasons why people like to point the finger at someone like me and like to demonize me or demonize people like me, because we speak the truth. And you don't have to like me, and that's fine, but at least be a little more respectful, and at least come at people like me with a little more enlightenment and education, like you're educated, like you're not a dumbass or an idiot, because that's what you sound when every time you come at me or you come at people like me who actually speak the mind and speak the truth with with some factual validity behind it. You understand? And that's what I'm getting at here. And so the organizations are protecting the fighters until something happens, until either a fighter gets killed or whatever the case may be. Until something happens, no one will do anything about it. But I'm just trying to help out MMA world, and I'm trying to help out the fans to realize that if we don't speak up and say something about this, there will be tragedies, there will be problems in hindsight. I'm looking at it from a far, distance. I mean, you guys are just looking at immediate gratifications and everything else. That's fine, but that's part of the problem in the society. Everybody are looking for immediate gratifications for things. People don't necessarily see things from a long-term perspective. They don't see things on a short-term base. And that's another situation on that as well. So, in any event, and as far as like I said, this is not necessarily about addressing my haters as much as just addressing just the ignorance of the way people are in our society. I mean, especially when they want to go on social network on YouTube. I mean, social networking is supposed to be something that's supposed to be good and supposed to be fun and supposed to be enlightening and things like that. And then you got people like yourselves who are ignorant, who like to call names and shit like that. I mean, first of all, if I'm actually talking about a fighter, I'm actually talking about a fighter. I'm talking about certain fighters. I'm not talking about the fans of those fighters for the most part, because the fans of the fighters, they can choose whatever they want. I mean, that's one thing. But as soon as you start attacking, me or other fans of certain fighters, then I have an issue with that. And so, and I am happy and I'm proud to be an Anderson Silva fan, because he's a champ. Okay, he's the best, and I like being the best, and I am the best. So you guys need to deal with that. You guys need to deal with the best. I mean, if you guys, one of the key things that you guys can do is start becoming the best yourselves. Start looking at yourself in the mirror first of all, because if you want to look for a villain, don't look in my direction. First of all, you need to look at yourselves in the mirror, because obviously, you guys are nothing but a bunch of faceless cowards who don't put yourselves out there. Who, the only people that you can do is look at yourself in the mirror, because obviously you don't have people pointing fingers back at you, because you try to point one finger back, there are usually three fingers being pointed back at you. But since you don't have a face for people to do that, well, why don't you look at yourself in the mirror and really realize, what is it that you really want, and why are you so damn insecure? Because that's basically where it's all coming down from. It's coming from insecurity, from your own lack, from your own disempowerment. Not mine, not anyone else's, but yours. And that's just it. And you're just being part of the problem, just like anybody else. You're being part of the problem by being this way. I mean, if you really are so passionate about things in life, I mean, sure, why don't you try to do your best to, talk about, how you can correct this sport, how you can correct this sport of MMA. But more important than that, if you want to talk about how you want to correct things in life, why don't you join or support the what's going on in Wall Street right now, the occupation of Wall Street and so forth. What's going on over there, the protest. Why don't you go around and support that? Why don't you go around and create blogs and videos that really matter? Why don't you guys stop being idiots and stop being a bunch of shitheads and start really getting up and start being somebody? Because it's simple as that. I mean, if you start doing the things that are necessary in life, people who matter like myself will start to have more respect for you, if anything. And that's just it. People like myself will start to have more respect for you. So you guys should just have to learn now to really decide what your purpose in life is and what you guys want. You see? And that's what I'm telling you. So you guys really need to think about what I'm telling you. Because this is one of those key things that are crucial right now, and I really feel that if you guys really make some real stance, you guys will really make a real difference in this world. And because until then, you guys are just nothing. You're nothing, and you're a part of the problem. And we don't really need much more of that right now. There's too many problems in this world without you adding into it. So, anyways.